You ever notice how most people talk about investing like it's a magical money machine? Like you flip a switch, put in some money, and suddenly you're rolling in cash while sipping coffee on a beach. But real life? That's not how it works. Real life is boring, slow, frustrating, and weirdly lonely. You're watching your balance creep up by a few $100s every month, and your brain is screaming, "Is this it? This is all the reward I get for adulting correctly?" And here's the kicker. Your friends probably aren't patient either. You post about being disciplined, about contributing every month, and someone inevitably responds, "Dude, I just bought Bitcoin at $70,000 last week. You're so behind." And all of a sudden, your invisible progress phase feels even more invisible. It's like running a marathon while everyone else is sprinting past on jetpacks. And your brain? It hates being slow. The thing is, human psychology is the single biggest barrier in investing. It's why the majority of people underperform the market by years. You see, evolution didn't prepare humans to wait patiently for a reward decades away. Evolution prepared humans to grab what they could now before someone else did. That instinct made sense in a jungle. It doesn't make sense with compound interest. Here's what most people don't realize. Compounding is cruelly slow at the beginning. Your first few years, tiny growth, invisible. Hard to feel. That $500 you invested monthly feels like it's trapped in molasses. Meanwhile, those last 10 years of a 30-year investing plan, that's when the real magic happens. That's when your money starts to work harder than you ever did in a 9-to-5. And if you quit early, you basically rob yourself of a lifetime of reward because you couldn't stomach the slow part. And let's talk about losses. Investors freak out over losses, right? "Oh no, my account dropped 5% this month. The market hates me. I'm failing." But here's the reality. The market is supposed to go up and down. The short-term volatility, totally irrelevant. The real danger isn't a market dip. It's quitting because it feels boring. That's the psychological landmine most people never even see coming. Now, imagine a practical example. Let's say you invest $500 a month. Like we said before, starting at age 25, you stay consistent for 10 years. At year 10, your portfolio might be around $83,000. Not enough to retire, right? Not glamorous, not "Look at me, I'm rich" money. Your brain wants that instant reward. Then, you quit at 35 out of frustration. You miss the next 20 years of growth. That $83,000, it could have become roughly $745,000 by 55. Suddenly, that boring phase looks like the most expensive mistake you could make. This is where being aware of your behavioral traps is critical. Impatience, comparison, and overthinking are the silent killers of investing success. One simple mental trick. Stop measuring the absolute value of your portfolio in the early years. Instead, measure the consistency of your actions. Are you contributing? Are you staying invested? Are you following your plan? If yes, you're winning, even if your balance doesn't feel exciting. And let me give you another metaphor because I love them. Investing is like planting a tree. You don't dig a hole, drop a sapling, water it for a month, and suddenly have shade and fruit. You water it for years, sometimes decades, and for most of that time, it's just a stick in the ground, and that's frustrating. You might even give up, thinking, "This isn't worth it." But if you stick with it, eventually, that tree grows tall, gives fruit, provides shade, and even multiplies by dropping seeds. Your portfolio behaves exactly the same way. Here's a real-life behavioral insight. Studies show that investors who check their accounts too frequently are more likely to panic and make bad decisions. It's the checking itself that triggers stress. Even when nothing is wrong, your brain interprets minor fluctuations as disaster, which is why automation is so powerful. Automate contributions, automate reinvestments, set it, forget it, and let compounding quietly work its magic. Another tip. Focus on process over outcome. Instead of obsessing over, "Did I make enough this month?" Obsess over, "Did I contribute my $500? Did I stick to my plan?" The process is the controllable part. The outcome, including the growth that feels invisible at first, is just the natural reward of consistency. And let's face it, quitting early feels rational. You look at your account, it's slow. Maybe the market dipped a little. You're tired of waiting. And your friends flaunt their gains. It feels logical to step out, but it's a trap disguised as reason. The real trap is that invisible compounding you walked away from, the wealth that quietly could have been yours if you'd just stayed. So here's the challenge for you. Recognize the boring phase for what it is. It's not failure, it's growth in disguise. You don't need to check your account constantly. You don't need to react to every dip. You don't need to compare yourself to everyone else. You just need to stay consistent, trust the process, and understand that invisible growth is still growth. The final thought is simple. Every investor who has built wealth didn't do it by making flashy picks. They didn't quit during the slow years. They didn't panic when their balance barely moved. They just stayed, and that's why they won. So if you're feeling impatient, frustrated, or questioning whether all this effort is even worth it, remember this. The boring, slow, invisible years, that's exactly where your future wealth is being quietly built. Don't quit. Trust the process. And if you need proof, just look at every wealthy, disciplined investor. They survived the boring years. If this helped you put your invisible progress into perspective, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more honest, practical investing insights. And remember, the slow part isn't failure. It's your future working quietly in the background. I'm Prime, and I'll see you in the next one.